What's going on? So today we're going to be working on the 67. I'm going to be trying to lower this thing as low buck as possible in the rear, and luckily we've got a set of leaf springs in the back. So what I'm going to be doing is, just like I did on, I don't know what Layla's getting into, maybe checking the oil, I don't know. Oh goodness, what is it? So just like I did on the Toyota here, I'm going to be removing some leaf springs. This thing, on the driver's side it has 5 leaf springs, and on the passenger side it has 7 currently, and it's sitting kind of wonky. As you can see here, it's got 5 leaf springs on this side. So what we're going to be doing, we've got our main leaf here, then we're going to be just keeping our overload. So all it's going to be is our main leaf and overload. Some people might say this is not technically the right way, but it's a pretty good way to lower one on a budget. And it would have been completely free, but me and a buddy, we already started, and the old U-bolts are all rusted up. So in these boxes right here, I've got new U-bolts, and we're going to be tossing those on. We're not even going to be worrying about busting them loose anymore. We're going to get the grinder out and hack them things down. So yeah, let's get after it. Well, that's a good way to start things off. I was going to try to be lazy and keep the leaf springs just hooked to the perches and drop them that way, but the leaf spring itself has too much travel, unfortunately, so we're just going to take the shackle off here, up there. We can pull the whole leaf spring off. We'll be good to go. Alright, with this back bolt out right here, I think we're going to be able to get what we need to get done. I've got enough play here, I think, hopefully. So what we're going to be doing is, there's a bolt right here, and that's what keeps your whole leaf pack together, basically. You can see here, we're kind of separated already, so chances are this thing will make a lot of noise anyway going on the road, so might as well do what we're doing. So if you can see, we've got the main leaf right here. So this stack right here is going to hit the road, and then that main leaf is going to come down and almost flatten out probably on this overload, and that's going to give us a heck of a lot of drop. You can see right here, that's already probably around 1.5 inches or so just in that alone, so that's going to be 1.5 inch drop right there. And then, like I was saying, that main leaf here is going to flatten out onto this a little bit, so we're going to be probably pretty dang low, maybe too low, I don't know. So we'll have to play it by ear. If we need to, we can always go back in and put one of these leaves in just for some more rigidity on our main leaf, but we're going with one so for right now. So I seen we didn't record, so I went to take this center bolt out of our leaf spring right there, and it broke. So it's gonna be okay. It makes it easier almost, because we're gonna have to make a shorter bolt anyway, and it's just part of messing with old rusty trucks. So I'm gonna try to separate these leaves now, hopefully, and get on with our business. So now that we got our leaves out here, you can see it's got this little pin deal, and that's what keeps your rear end centered so it doesn't just wrap on your hangers. But like I was saying, this overload is basically the only spring that I'm looking for right now. So we need to figure out a way to tap this out, which might be a pain. There goes one of our leaves. 2. Alright, so this is what we're going to have left over, is our one overload that we're looking for. And like I said, if we go about this and the thing is way too low, we can always go back in, pick one of these leaves out and add it back in the pack as well, and we'll be good to go. So what I was telling you, this is basically a 3/8 bolt, and as I was saying, whenever that broke, it's no big deal because you can see how long that's going to be. So what we're going to have to do is, I usually just get a 3/8 bolt, and I'll come in here. Of course, a 3/8 bolt is going to be a hexagon back here, and we need it to be a circle, so we'll have to go ride a little bit on the belt sander to get that thing to where it'll fit down in that notch on our rear end. It's not making sense right now. Hopefully it will here in a minute. So what I do to achieve maximum precision is put the bolt in my old drill here and turn this on, spin it around, and I'll just kind of size these two up until they're pretty close. Now this thing doesn't need a whole lot to be dead on, so let's see what we got here. Pretty straight around there, and it looks like it's going to be pretty dang comparable. So let's slide over here real quick and see if we can't put it on. Alright, I'm going to try to drag this rear end up a little bit here and see what we got. Like I was saying, if it goes up too high, we can always add another leaf spring in here and it'll help us out a little bit. So as I was kind of worried, we are overlapping on our monoleaf setup right now, which is not what we want, but it did slam that thing. So what we're gonna have to do is go back in here and, like I was saying, probably add another one of those factory leaves back in here just to give us a little bit more rigidity. We'll give that a shot. And when I get done with all this, I'll probably end up making some little pieces of flat bar and 2 bolts and put that on either side of the axle. That way it keeps everything in line so these leaf springs won't want to drift out. Alright, let's jack this back up, make sure we don't invert that leaf spring like we did last time, and if we don't, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. We're getting a lot more pressure on this side right now too, because it's wanting to go up more than that side because it's more rigid. So I think I'm going to keep the 3 on this one, and then we will slide over to the other side. I'm going to knock that out real quick. And hopefully we can let this thing down here before long and see what we got. But I can already tell you right now, that is a lot lower than what we started with, which is what we were going for. So, on to the other side. Alright, so we've got the shocks, everything's reassembled on this thing, and it is sitting about perfect. We do have some 3-inch drop coils that I just ordered up for this thing for the front. Currently that's sitting on some cut coil spring. Previous owner, he just kind of cut them to get the lowness out of them. So the 3-inch may bring it up just a little bit in the front, which wouldn't be a terrible thing. I do dig like the rake right now that it has, but we can always put drop spindles on the front later when we do like a disc conversion or something. So that won't be the end of the world. If we do the 3-inch and it lifts the front end up a little bit and it's not where we want it, we can throw the drop spindles on it. But yeah, I am stoked with the way that is. And I also, the bed wasn't sitting on there all the way, and it was kind of crooked and looking kind of weird, so got it on straight. But overall, I think it looks killer. It has just a killer stance to it now, I feel like. And then we got the back bumper too. Gonna throw that on there. I just like them better with the back bumper. I used to be into the roll pans and all that stuff, but now I just like a good back bumper on there. So toss that on there. I think that'll kind of complete the look. But man, I am super happy with the way that looks. I think it just looks really aggressive now. Really mean. So the game plan is, with this truck, we're gonna be trying to take it down to Southeastern Truck Nationals. And we've got a lot to do to this thing before we do that. So just ordered up some electric fans for it, and like I said, some drop coils. So we're gonna keep hammering away at this thing and hopefully, fingers crossed, get it done. Oh, also, just picked up that new quick fuel 4-barrel for it. So gonna be plumbing all that up, and also snatched up this old fuel cell here. We're gonna be doing like a bed mount style fuel cell in this, just up top, kind of hanging some weight back here, because like I've said in previous videos, I would love to take this truck on drag and drives and stuff like that later. Maybe just even getting into some local bracket racing, because I would like to start doing something like that. I think it'd be great content. I enjoy watching drag racing content, so why not make some, right? So thanks for sticking in here this long if you have. And if you have stuck in here this long and you've enjoyed it, consider hitting that subscribe button and the old like button. That would be greatly appreciated. But until the next one, hopefully you're out working on something, and I need to do the same. See y'all.